I remember I was so nervous. We did the tryout and I remember it going pretty well. It was either later that day or the next day. I got the email saying, "You're on the team, congratulations. Now what?" Our team is so close-knit. I think a lot of times it feels like we're just a big friend group. Like, it doesn't feel like it's an extra commitment. It doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like fun. Even when we are working really hard and we're learning and we're practicing a lot, it doesn't feel like work. And I think that's like the best thing you can get out of anything you do, is where it doesn't feel like a chore. Our team just is really special. It has a lot of heart. We all care about each other so much. We're all willing to embarrass ourselves by cheering and screaming so loud for each other at competitions. If we don't win anything else, we would win the award for being the loudest team for cheering, and that's always been the case. I think most of all, this team has just taught me how to live joyfully. And I think that part of, our team's unique from a lot of others that we compete against. We compete against a lot of big state schools with professional clothing at hand and private lessons with world champions every single week, and we don't have that, but we have a lot of heart and a lot of commitment and love for what we do. And I think there's an extra level of commitment and passion. I think everyone on this team is so passionate and so committed to what they're doing because we have to be. And I think we're all okay with that. We've seen the payoffs from it. I remember last year when we were going to competitions, people were starting to do ballroom dance hair and wear ballroom dance outfits. And this year and last year, we started having people on our highest team, our silver team placing, which hadn't happened in a really long time. And we are consistently having people place and move on in competitions now, which is something I think we couldn't say a couple of years ago. I think now we're starting to make our way up and learn more about what we are capable of, and learning that you don't need all these really fancy resources to still become a really good dancer and progress and be at that level that some of the other people we've been competing against are at. On the way home from Northwestern's competition, I was in Carmen's car with a couple of other people, and I was talking to Carmen about how last year I had really wanted to go to nationals and I hadn't been able to. And Carmen turned to me and was like, "When's nationals happening?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Are we seriously talking about doing this right now? Like, don't joke around with me because I really want to do this." And Carmen was like, "I don't see why not. It would be a lot of fun." And I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna figure out how to go to nationals." There was a lot of things that were new for us. We put a lot of time and a lot of hard work into learning these dances, into preparing as much as we could for nationals. And then over spring break, I think it was like the Wednesday or Thursday before competition, we left campus around 7 a.m. We were on the road to Pittsburgh. I mean, as soon as we got into Pittsburgh and you're seeing like the tall buildings and all the bright lights, I was immediately just so excited. I mean, I had been excited for weeks, but it really set in, like, we are at nationals. Delirious, laughing, having listened to the Hamilton soundtrack like 3 times at that point. Checked in and I think we were out right away. We went to bed. I'm tired. I was very excited. I always am the morning of competitions. I kind of get like an adrenaline rush. I mean, I was tired. It was 4 a.m., but I was also really excited, so I think that kept me going. And as soon as I arrived at the competition, I didn't feel tired. I was just really excited to be there. So when we started with our first dances of the day, which were rhythm, which is cha-cha, rumba, swing, and Bolero. We kept moving on, and I remember turning to Carmen. I would always run up to the computer. She would stand back farther. I would run up to see if our number had moved on, and I'd run back to Carmen and go, "Yup," and Carmen would go, "Sarah, this is crazy. Like, what is going on?" And I was like, I don't know. We got done with those semifinals. We're out of breath looking at the computer. I'm crossing my fingers down by my leg, as I do. And I looked at the finals screen when it popped up, and number 329 was up there for the finals for adult cha-cha rumba. And I remember my eyes went wide, and I started tearing up, and I ran over to Carmen and I went, "Carmen, we finaled." And Carmen was like, "What?" She was like, "Oh my goodness, like, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yes, our number's on there." I think I ran back and double checked and triple checked because I couldn't believe it. We were national finalists. We had been dancing nonstop back to back the entire day. But that last dance, I think we were just kind of in a euphoric state at that point. The two people from the tiny Midwest college team, and we became 7th place in the country for adult bronze cha-cha and rumba, which is just, it's wild to think about now, a month later. It was wild then, it's wild now, it'll be wild a year from now. We're just so excited. You know, it's not just the ribbon that makes up the rewarding part of it, but looking back to see how hard we worked to get there and how much we both grew. To be able to see my hard work pay off, our hard work pay off, is just like the best gift. I mean, it really is full circle for us. I think we've had such a strong friendship over the 3 years we've done Ballroom, and to look back on that video of us trying out for the team before we were even newcomers, stumbling over our own feet a little bit, kind of shuffling along, looking at the floor, elbows kind of squeezed in by our sides, and then to look at us in the top 7 in the country for these events, it's crazy, it's full circle, and there's no one else I would have chosen to share that experience with. I think that I'm getting emotional now. There's no one else I would, rather share that experience with. It was, I think, one of the best experiences of my college career, and I'm really thankful to have had Carmen there with me, for those 3 years, and to really end it full circle. It's going to be one of my favorite memories for a really long time.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
I love you, Sarah.
I love you too.